This is a fun age. I often ask the kids questions like, are you a boy or a girl? And when they look at me silly and say, I'm a boy, I know they're on track with their development. Also, parents often want to talk about temper tantrums and potty training at this age.
Now, when we talk about a kindergarten entrance exam, what signs are doctors looking for?
So for kindergarten, I really want to know, will the child sit and follow directions?
Okay, now we're moving into elementary school. What are we going to be expecting there?
So in this age, they may be starting to go through puberty. We talk about hygiene. So for the girls, it's often washing your face, and for the boys, it's just that, yes, you really do need to shower.
Tell me about scoliosis.
So scoliosis is something that your doctor should check with something called a scoliometer. It measures your child's spine, and we do that every year when they come in for the exam, because as they grow taller, that's often when we pick up scoliosis.
Now, once you move into middle school, now we've got biology taking part and coming into play.
Exactly, puberty and pimples. And if I can help a middle school student clear up their acne, I've made a friend for life.
When I took my daughter in a couple of months ago to get her physical for camp, and then we kind of doubled up and did it for school, there were some shots involved.
Exactly. 11 and 12-year-olds get their booster for tetanus and whooping cough, which is called Tdap, as well as meningitis and HPV, human papillomavirus.
There are a lot of myths about the flu vaccine, and probably the biggest one is people always say, well, I got sick or I got the flu right after I had the flu vaccine. Is that possible?
Contrary to popular belief, you cannot catch the flu from the flu vaccine. The flu shot is a killed virus vaccine, and other than a sore arm, as you mentioned you had, side effects are rare. And with the nasal spray flu vaccine, it is such a weakened virus that you still cannot catch the flu or even get serious flu symptoms. Some people complain of mild nasal congestion, and rarely children will get a fever after the vaccine. In my office this season, we've already given over 3,000 doses of the flu vaccine, and we have not seen any serious side effects. And we have also not received any parent calls complaining of side effects or flu symptoms after the vaccine.
The doctors have diagnosed him with migraines. Is it common for children to suffer with severe migraines?
Some children do get severe migraines, and as long as the doctors have ruled out anything more serious, I recommend keeping a headache diary to try to figure out what's causing them. Write down what your child eats, drinks, and how much he sleeps. And I find that common triggers are lack of sleep, an unhealthy diet, especially skipping breakfast in the morning or eating sugary breakfasts.
Do most children tend to outgrow migraines if they have them as little kids?
Some do, and some learn how to control them so they don't go on to be adults with headaches.
What are some of the signs that your child's ready for swimming lessons?
Well, every child will develop at a different rate and show different signs. I even started my own 2 boys at different ages. Some of the things I look for is a child that can follow directions, enjoys being in the water, wants to swim, and can play games and is very active.
Do you like these floaties that a lot of parents use for young children?
They're cute, but they should not be used in place of a life jacket. They aren't designed to keep a swimmer safe or even their head above water.
Does anything that I eat affect my baby? Go through the breast milk to the baby?
Well, just like when you're pregnant, much of what you eat and drink does pass to your baby now through breast milk. So it's important to continue eating healthy and taking your prenatal vitamins. Now, a few facts I find nursing moms always want to know is gassy foods. If what you eat is making you gassy, such as a lot of beans and broccoli, it may also make your baby gassy.
Wow, I had not thought about that. That would be a very weird experience.
Alcohol.
Therefore, the baby gets cranky, I'd imagine. And then you were saying alcohol.
An occasional glass of wine is fine.
Okay.
And you don't need to cut out your morning coffee. Just limit it to the minimum amount you need, because caffeine may cause some babies to be more awake and fussy. We used to think that babies needed rice cereal because it had added iron and zinc, which are important after 6 months of age. But now some feeding experts are actually arguing that meat is a better source of these nutrients. So any of these are fine, and I love getting kids used to vegetables early on. And even though grandma may insist that green is better than orange, the order doesn't matter anymore.
Okay.
I'm wondering what I do if my daughter has a problem hitting. Mama. We have a little problem with that lately.
Hitting is not an acceptable behavior at any age. So when your daughter hits, you want to go over and say no with a firm voice, and then take her hand and model the appropriate behavior, such as soft, gentle touch. For older toddlers, remove them from the play situation, and as she gets older, teach her how to say I'm sorry to whoever she might have hit. The oleander flower is pretty, but it is very dangerous. In fact, a single leaf can be deadly to a child.
Those are beautiful.
So if you have them in your backyard, yank them out. Signs you want to look for would be numbness, stomach pain, diarrhea, and heart problems are actually the most serious.
Is it just from touching them and then maybe putting their hands in their mouth, or is it actually ingesting the flower or the leaf?
Eating the flower, even if it's a dried leaf, it can still be toxic. So parents should have the poison control phone number in their cell phone and on the refrigerator in case their child ingests anything. If you're gonna get sick, it's because of your immune system and what sick friends or viruses you come into contact with.
My mother lied to me all those years. I used to go outside in Canada with wet hair all the time. I would not get sick.
Well, some people will get a runny nose, but not a cold from being outside in the cold air. It's called vasomotor rhinitis, and that's why when you play in the snow, sometimes your nose runs.
Who can spell vasomotor?
Basal, say it again.
Vasomotor rhinitis. It's why your nose may run when you're outside in the cold weather, but it's not a cold. You catch a cold from your friends.
What is the age that kids, it's safe to fly with?
Well, I usually prefer to wait until at least the 2-month checkup. That way I know the baby's growing well, their immune system's a little stronger, and they've had their first set of vaccines.
Okay.
It's not the airplane that's dangerous, but the potential contact with sick people, especially this time of year when everybody's coughing.
Yeah.